Hello everyone, this is James O'Keefe here at Project Veritas headquarters in front of the infamous and legendary Wall of Shame. We're about to do the 310th retraction correction. This is the place where the journalists' reputations go to die. They just can't seem to get their facts straight. Cue the Retracto theme song.
Retracto, the correction alpaca.
Now, many of you know that we did a little story last month about Elizabeth Warren, who dropped out of the campaign race. One of her staffers was caught on tape bemoaning the fact that Elizabeth Warren focuses on gender pronouns instead of focus on getting food on the tables for families. Let's play that clip.
But if at the end of the day, if we're gonna prioritize pronouns over making sure people have a decent standard of living, that's wrong.
Yeah, you're right.
And it's like when you come from where I come from, no one gives a on the goddamn pronoun. People want to know how you're gonna create a job.
Which brings us to today's retraction. This retraction is from a man named Bill Browning of the prestigious and, quote, most followed LGBTQ news source, unquote, LGBTQ Nation. And this man or person could not help himself, herself, theyself. I'm trying to be politically correct here with the taxonomy of how I'm supposed to refer to them. But they just couldn't keep the facts straight when they saw this story about Elizabeth Warren and started attacking our reputation. So I'm proud to announce the 310th retraction goes to the LGBTQ Nation. So in this article, Browning says that James O'Keefe, quote, has been sued for defamation after wrongfully accusing a man of being a willing participant in an underage sex trafficking scheme. There's only one problem with that. I was never sued for defamation. I did not accuse anybody of anything. I merely quoted the person, and there was no defamation lawsuit. They just can't seem to get this correct. They keep making the same mistake over and over about this case. So we're going to have to revisit this case in extreme detail. Here we go. So this was about Juan Carlos Vera, the San Diego ACORN employee, 11 years ago that we recorded. I was telling him that there were 12 girls aged 13 to 15 years old. In this video, I clearly said it, quote, involves some girls coming in overseas from El Salvador. My girlfriend here is a prostitute, unquote. So I was pretty clear about that. The worker, Vera, advised me on location, stating, quote, it's better if the location is Tijuana. I asked why, and he said he had a lot of contacts in Tijuana. I asked if they might be able to assist in crossing the border, to which Juan Carlos replied, yeah. Those are direct quotes. There was no defamation. I did not misquote him or take him out of context. He, in fact, did say those things to me. And here's the video.
Things do you need from me in terms of like the shipment information? Like, what can I help you? What information would you further need? Would help you in advice you would give me?
The location.
The location?
Yeah.
Whereabouts? Like, what type? Like city, state? What do you need?
The location. They're gonna take the girls.
Is it better if it's Tijuana? Is it better if it's somewhere inland? Where is the best place? I'm not quite. He's like all these answers he wants right away.
It's better in Tijuana.
Tijuana?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I have a lot of contacts in Tijuana.
Okay, and they might be able to assist crossing the border?
Yeah.
So we released this tape. Nothing false about what you're seeing. I'm willing to say that under oath. In fact, he did say these things. Some argued he was playing along with me, but I could not verify that. I did not report that because I could not prove that. And in fact, we just played the quotes. Local media responded in kind.
There's 12 girls, but there's like 13 to 15 years old.
The video doesn't look good for ACORN's National City office. A prostitute and her boyfriend come to them in August and appear to be asking for help smuggling young prostitutes into the country.
It's better in Tijuana.
Tijuana?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I have a lot of contacts.
So we get sued. We did, in fact, get sued, but it was not about defamation. It was about invasion of privacy, California Statute 632, about filming him without his consent, without his permission for us to film him. It had nothing to do with wrongfully accusing him or accusing anyone of anything. We don't make accusations at Project Veritas. We only quote people and report the words that come out of their own mouths. So here's a copy of the lawsuit. Here's the sole cause of action, Penal Code 630, 638, eavesdropping, specifically 632. and you see it right there on that complaint, you can imagine the difference between recording someone without them knowing and lying about them. Huge moral distinction there that's apparently lost upon our friends in the media. Now, we actually tried to fight this statute 632 in federal court in California. We lost, and then years later we actually won in federal court in Massachusetts, striking down the anti-recording law on the grounds it's unconstitutional. That was not reported by anyone except, the Associated Press. That was selectively edited out of this article when they accused me of defaming someone. And our reasoning in these lawsuits is pretty clear. It's the Philip Meyer quote from Ethical Journalism. The use of a concealed tape recorder, at least when one party is present, is not nearly the moral quandary its opponents would have us believe. It's not an invasion of privacy. It's not an act of deception in and of itself. It's not a form of eavesdropping, and it doesn't constitute entrapment. Again, we don't accuse people of anything. We quoted this man, and we felt the public had a right to know what he said. That's what we do. You can't defame people by quoting them. The Supreme Court has made that crystal clear. It's not that these journalists are always malicious. Sometimes they're lazy. And when the ones who aren't lazy, sometimes they're malicious. They just have a prejudice against us because they don't like who and what we investigate. They think ACORN is good and Planned Parenthood is good, therefore one should not quote those people. And again, that is anathema to the principles behind the First Amendment itself. So Project Veritas lawyers fired off a letter to the LGBTQ Nation. We got the retraction, which states, quote, "The founder, James O'Keefe, has been sued for invasion of privacy after wrongfully accusing a man of being a willful participant in an underage sex trafficking scheme." Again, they didn't wrongfully accuse anyone of anything, but they did retract what the lawsuit was about. So we have this retraction. We are going to put the 310th retraction on the Veritas wall of shame. We have a problem. We are running out of space. There are so many lies and omissions and retractions. We are going to need a bigger wall. I believe the next retraction is coming from Politico. We are waiting on that reporter. My advice to the journalists, please, pretty please, just focus on the facts. Stop the propaganda, stop the stenography, stop the punditry, and stop projecting onto me and this organization that which you are. Stay tuned. I believe Politico retraction is coming next.
Retractor.